गुड इवनिंग, आदाब, नमस्ते, सत श्री अकाल, अस्सलाम वालेकुम। खुश आमदीद करती हूँ मैं अपने सारे व्यूअर्स का आज के शो में, जिसका नाम तो अभी तक हम लोगों ने डिसाइड नहीं करा है, पर आप चैनल देख रहे हैं युवा वर्चस्व। और मेरे साथ अभी ज्वाइन करेंगे हम सबको नीलेश, जो कि एक इंटरनेशनल स्पोर्ट्स प्लेयर है और पॉलिटिक्स और स्पिरिचुअल मैटर्स पे बहुत ज़्यादा पकड़ रखते हैं। वेलकम नीलेश, वेलकम टू द शो। आपका नाम मेरे एक क्लासमेट से बहुत ज़्यादा सिनोनिम रखता है। उसका नाम था नीलिमेश। तो कभी-कभी मैं नीलेश बोलने जा रही होती हूँ, मेरे मुँह से नीलिमेश निकल रहा होता है, फिर मैं कहती हूँ नहीं, 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 इट इज़ नीलेश। तो जी नीलेश, कैसे हैं आप? वेलकम। आप ही का चैनल है, आप ही का शो है।
थैंक यू सो
सो या
मच भूमि,
प्लीज़।
थैंक यू सो मच भूमि। बट ये तो भूमि के सवाल हैं। ये शो तो अब भूमि के सवाल के नाम से जाना जाता है, एंड दैट्स हाउ आई वांट इट टू बी। सो थैंक यू सो मच। एंड सो आज भूमि कौन से यॉर्कर्स एंड कौन से बाउंसर्स डालने का सोचिए।
एग्जैक्टली, यॉर्कर्स और बाउंसर्स तो आपका मैदान है। मेरे हिस्से में कुछ मुद्दे हैं और आज के 3 मुद्दे हैं जिनके ऊपर मैं बात करना चाहूँगी। सो माय फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन या फर्स्ट जो है, जैसे कि हम लोगों ने पिछले कुछ एपिसोड्स में बात करी है अबाउट द बलूचिस्तान इशू, अबाउट द हॉट टॉपिक, द सिट इन प्रोटेस्ट बाय द बलूचिस्तान पीपल. And the second is how Jaishankar is shaping world diplomacy. And the third is 22 जनवरी को जो हम दिवाली मनाने जा रहे हैं, तो राम मंदिर से जुड़े हिस्टोरिकल फैक्ट्स जो कि उस स्थापना को प्रमोट करते हैं। तो कमिंग बैक टू द फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन, जिसकी सपोर्ट में मैं एक और खबर देना चाहूँगी, that the Balochistan government has suspended 44 employees for participating and felicitating protest sit-in against the killing of Balach Baksh. तो इस पे आप क्या अपनी राय देना चाहेंगे नीलेश?
सो सबसे पहले तो जय हिंद टू ऑल द व्यूअर्स फ्रॉम इंडिया, अस्सलाम वालेकुम टू ऑल द व्यूअर्स फ्रॉम पाकिस्तान, और बलूचिस्तान की उन शेरियों को मेरा अलग से सलाम है। मुझे कहीं ना कहीं लगता है शायद दे आर बिल्डिंग द प्लेटफॉर्म फॉर अनदर 1971। एंड हमने लास्ट शो में भी इस बारे में बात किया था, डिस्कस किया था। बिकॉज ये कुछ नया नहीं है। यू हैव द बलूच गवर्नमेंट इन एग्जाइल ऑलरेडी सेट अप। बहुत सारे लोग ऑलरेडी उसको अब वॉच कर रहे हैं, दे आर फॉलोइंग इट, दे आर गोइंग थ्रू द रेगुलर न्यूज। अब वो बात नहीं है 1971 वाली वेर यू कैन जस्ट हश इट अप एंड पुट इट इन द बॉक्स। आज सोशल मीडिया का दौर है। The journalism that you are doing, the Ribaha is doing, Fakar Saab is doing, or Arzu Kazmi is doing. So it's that atrocities are coming to the world. आज दुनिया को पता चल रहा है कि आप वहां पे क्या कर रहे हैं उन बेचारी माँ बहनों के साथ। जब वो आपसे कुछ नहीं मांगने आ रही है ना, गवर्नमेंट को वो कोई ऐसा कोई chaotic मूवमेंट कर रही है, दे आर जस्ट आउट देयर टू टॉक एंड आस्क द सिंपल क्वेश्चन कि मेरे खानदान वाले कहाँ गायब हो गए। इवन इफ दे आर डेड, एटलीस्ट डिक्लेयर इट, एटलीस्ट डिक्लेयर, और उन्हें बता तो दो ताकि हम अपने सुकून से रो तो लें अपने घर में जाकर। सो दैट इज समथिंग वेयर आई थिंक दैट गवर्नमेंट नीड्स टू स्टैंड अप। एंड जो आज का स्टेटमेंट रहा है ऑफ पाक पीएम ऑन दैट मिसलेड एवरीवन टर्निंग देमसेल्फ इनटू फेक हीरोज ऑफ human rights and damaging the state. I'm sorry, how can a sitting, I mean, पहली बात तो इंडिया से मैं हूं तो मुझे ये केयरटेकर प्राइम मिनिस्टर का कॉन्सेप्ट ही समझ में नहीं आता है। What is this concept called caretaker prime minister? So, but how can a prime minister say that these are misled people who are talking on social media about and they are damaging the state?
मैं आपकी इस बात को
बिल्कुल।
सपोर्ट करना चाहूँगी, जैसे कि आपने बोला दैट जर्नलिस्ट लाइक आरज़ू काज़मी, रिबाहा इमरान, सैयद हारिस, दे आर द वन्स हू आर ब्रिंगिंग व्हाट इज़ हैपनिंग देयर इन देयर कंट्री। मैं अभी हम लोगों ने एक वीडियो देखा था आरज़ू काज़मी और तारिक फ़तेह साहब का, जिनमें तारिक फ़तेह कहते हैं कि उन्हें ज़्यादा नॉलेज नहीं है, तो आरज़ू काज़मी कहती हैं जी वहाँ पे तो बंदे उठा लिए जाते हैं, वहाँ पे तो मिसिंग पर्सन का केस लॉज्ड है, जिसकी कानो-कान खबर नहीं है। तो is it like that social media is now the driving force जो कि it is helping people to put up what is really happening and urging the world wild uh, citizens, global citizens, to come up and stand up for something that was hidden before the social media revolution came into being. Is this an era of renaissance? Is this another internet renaissance?
Yeah, it's always technology is uh, either you can create to use it as a weapon, or you can create to use it as a change for the society. So how you, if you want this same social media, ये एक weapon की तरह use हो सकता है for the let's say the creating a mind frame, how you drive the society, how the moral of the society are actually influenced by these social media. So in one way, where you say like the Ukraine Russia war, you take it, वहाँ पे जो narrative है, that is controlled by the social media in one way. If you go and check it out on the Israel Palestine, like Israel and this
Israel and
war,
Hamas war,
there,
yeah.
yeah, Hamas
The
war, there the
narrative is
narrative is
controlled
again
by
controlled
the
in one
social
way.
media.
Yeah,
खैर ये वाली
and
टॉपिक
again,
तो कहीं और चला जाएगा नीलेश। अ, हम बात करते हैं उन शेरनियों की कि जो इतना ज़्यादा प्रोटेस्ट कर रही हैं, लाइक दे आर स्टैंडिंग अप फ्रंट एंड दे आर जस्ट डिमांडिंग, बट देन द गवर्नमेंट इज टोटली अगेंस्ट देम। सो व्हाट डू यू थिंक, इफ यू हैव टू डिफाइन द होल, सम अप द होल थिंग इन जस्ट वन सेंटेंस, देन हाउ वुड यू सम इट अप?
if I have to sum up the whole thing in one thing, it's now proven. पहले people like Tarak Fateh Saab or Ayub Mirza sir, they used to say that Pakistan is a state uh, that is owned by army. you know Other every country has their own army, and the nation owns the army. Here it's clearly now visible to anybody that yes, it's a state owned by the army. Those 2% sitting at the elite places are not going to look after the Baloch, are not looking after the Pashtun, are not cared about the Sindhis, are not cared about the minorities in
Minorities,
Pakistan.
yeah, exactly,
Yes.
exactly.
And फिर हम तो
It is a
काफिर हैं
sorry
ही.
state of affairs. We, like,
Yes.
we young journalists then can say it out loud that it is a sorry state of affairs, and we have seen India growing. India and Pak were created at the same moment, but then they decided to be half an hour ahead of India. They decided to celebrate their independence at
Half a
exactly
night ahead.
like, yeah, like just one midnight prior to what India celebrated. We can never understood. There is a very good comedy show called Loose Talk, which is being headed by Moin Akhtar and Anwar Maqsood, in which the satirist says that Jinnah knew that he was gonna die in 1 year, so he just said that तुम लोग संभालो, मैं तो चला 1 साल में बंटवारा करके। तो जहाँ भी हैं जिन्ना साहब, ऊपर वाला उनकी आत्मा को सुकून दे, बट भाई it is a sorry state of affairs. Moving on, let us come to the second topic, which is our very own Mr. Jay Shankar. Is Jay Shankar, is he shaping the world policy? So your reviews, please. World
Yes.
diplomacy, rather.
Oh yes. Oh yes. Oh yes. We were talking about yesterday that India is turning into a superpower. The superpower is driven through the diplomacy. And this, the way the new diplomacy that he has brought on the table, where we are right now, having a great relation with the Israel. We are sending support to Palestine. We have great image in the Middle East. We have great relations with the Russians. We still call ourselves friends with the Americans. It's a great diplomatic win for India, if you
Yeah,
see like
exactly. I'd like to support your statement by saying that he put it out loud and clear when he went on his tour to Russia, that in the past 75 years, the only thing that has remained constant is India and Russia's relationship. Then, in another statement, he said it out loud and clear. He's very clear with his thoughts, where he puts up saying that India is more realistic. India is progressing towards the thoughts of Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, and we are no longer romanticizing the concept of Nehru's India. So, yeah, I like to support it, and the way we are maintaining our very cordial relationships. Then, in come Prime Minister Modi's vision, where he says that this is not an era of war. This is an era of talk where people are inviting him to act as a mediator between the two countries. So, yeah, I think apart from becoming the fifth global economy, we are moving towards becoming the superpowers. But then there comes a very good question that Sam Uncle has always suppressed people who have wanted to become superpowers. उसका एक बहुत ही छोटा सा एग्जाम्पल है that there is a controversy. I wonder how much is it true. If viewers have joined, then I like their comments and views as well. That Nord Stream 2, the Russia and Ukraine war, is done to stop the Nord 2 uh, pipeline, which would have decreased the value of dollar globally, and but it would have increased the value of ruble in India. And as we all know, right now India and Russia are exchanging their trading in their own very own ruble and Indian rupee,
Indian
as
rupee.
there are sanctions on Russian ruble, and Russia is buying stuff. And in the coming month, there is a free trade talk going on. So yeah, I'd like your comment on that.
So Sam Uncle did a disaster when they took out Russia from SWIFT. You know, it was a disastrous move. Now, actually, that has created the whole world to think about de-dollarization. What if Sam Uncle tomorrow decides, okay, I'm not happy with you, and I'm going to I'm going to sack you off from the SWIFT. So that has created a new, it has given so much now. You are talking about BRICS coming up with their own currency, maybe. And let me tell you, if BRICS or ASEAN type of currencies are launched, that will significantly have a dent on the dollar. Because
Dollar.
let's not forget, China is already trading in its own currency and is influencing other countries to trade in their currency. And India started with CPEC, this Indian Middle Eastern Corridor. They have started, right? I think IMEC. So yes, so that IMEC was a big initiative, and as you said, some people say that this Israel Hamas war was a direct result of this launch. Because if this project starts, it would have dented severely the one road, one policy of China. The CPEC of China, that would have been damaged significantly if India put up this kind of thing. So yes, I completely, and जहां तक बात है भूमि, सुपर पावर कभी एग्रीमेंट्स में नहीं लिए जाते. आप छीन के लेते हो, वो खूनी संघर्ष होता है. And that's why I said it's a mental, it will require also the change of people like you and me. हमको आजादी फिर बम के जरिए जाके लेनी पड़ेगी. you know Sam Uncle carries diplomacy written on bomb and carries it to the best countries, and then they drop that bomb with the diplomacy. And tell me, if the diplomacy to Iraq was not carried by Sam Uncle by bomb, if Afghanistan's diplomacy was not carried by bomb, if they went to I'm sorry if just forgetting the name, the last time when they were beaten, uh, not the Korean War. Yeah, I think the Korean War, right? The Korean War, they were thrown away. So there they also went with the bomb. So wherever Sam Uncle goes to deliver diplomacy, it's always written on bomb. So अगर हम आजादी देंगे तो हम छोटे गोली तो आपको चलानी पड़ेगी.
Well, I'd like to add on. Let's come back to India, where on 22nd of January we are celebrating Diwali, an early Diwali. And what are the historical facts that are there that support Ram Mandir and Ayodhya? Since you have done your thorough research on the topic, I'd like a few comments on it.
Yes, Bhumi, this is a small initiative for the youth of India, that I want you to go back and study Ramcharitmanas or read Bhagavad Gita and see how that will help you to change yourself in the kind of life we are living. It's highly required for us to somewhere the other find that way out of our current life and associate with the Almighty. So I encourage those people. But yes, now there is a big question that हाउ डू यू से दैट ये जो अयोध्या है या जो मंदिर है, इसके हमारे पास क्या प्रमाण है? इवन द सुप्रीम कोर्ट, दे विल रेफर द कोर्ट, they will refer the order of Supreme Court where they say that it's just a non-Islamic this thing. So now I'm going to quote. It is K. K. Muhammad Saab, the archaeological head who led this archaeological survey in Ram Mandir for both the excavation. So, according to him, it was a report. The report was first submitted in 1977, and then the excavation was again done in 2003. And the following are the discoveries that he had made. There were 53 pillars that had the carving of Maharam. 15 pillars in 17 rows that have been found. महाविष्णु का टेम्पल का उनको स्तंभ पिला मिला है। जैसे पिलर पे आप पहले लिख दिया जाता था उसमें, ऑन स्टोन्स वो लिखते थे, तो महाविष्णु टेम्पल लिखा हुआ है वो। और उसके बाद उसमें लिखा हुआ है कि ये महाविष्णु का टेम्पल है जो 10 सरवालो राक्षस का वध किया है। ये शिलालेख है वहां पे। ये दो शिलालेख उनको मिले हैं with 265 other small evidences that are listed in that archaeological report that he had submitted.
Survey that he has submitted. Yeah.
Yes. So that clearly
I think
indicates.
very few, I think hardly anyone had any knowledge that the survey was carried out by a Muslim named K.K. Muhammad, which is a
Yes,
great
thank you, Bhuma.
information that he very in a very unbiased form. Like a true historian, he submitted his work, and now due to his efforts, there something that belonged originally to somebody is being returned to it. So I think it is a great moment of pride for all the nation, and I think Prime Minister is right when he says that we should be celebrating Diwali on 22nd of January. And
You know, let me just tell you that it's very important for the Indians to celebrate KK Muhammad, sir. Without his research, without his information, neither of us could today be so sure. And it just says that how important, like unlike Pakistan, where they say that Muslims and Indians can't live together, here is an example, here is a theory that debunks the theory of two nation theory. KK Muhammad to find our ancestors. I mean, what more great example you need? Whoa. So, Bhumi, I would ask you to carry forward. Just give me a moment. I'll be back. So, please carry on.
okay, so Nilesh is going to join all of us in a while. In the meantime, I'd like to put forth top five developments of the day, which you may have or you may not have came across. NATO is to help. NATO is going to help buy 1,000 Patriot missiles to defend allies as Russia ramps up its air assault on Ukraine. Israel is ready for any scenario after strike kills Hamas deputy in Lebanon. Ex-Prime Minister PM Imran Khan is charged with contempt of electoral watchdog. Controversial Ugandan pastor has been shot in murder attempt. UN experts sound alarm over planned first US execution by nitrogen gas. So these were the some top developments that came across today, which you may have or may not have came across. Now Nilesh is back. So yeah, Nilesh, you were saying something.
Yeah. So, Bhumi, I was saying that, yeah, it's very important for the Indian heroes,
Us
like
to celebrate KK Mohammed.
celebrate KK Mohammed, sir. His findings, his honesty, and he represents the true color, I mean, the true India, the India that you and I dream about, the India that you and I want to live in. So yes,
Uh,
that's one way of seeing the
Uh,
thing.
Nilesh, I'd like to end the conversation by pointing out 3 to 4 disasters that have recently happened. जिसमें से बहुत ज़्यादा important जो इस वक्त trend कर रहा है, that is fortunately or unfortunately, fortunate is say that all the 300 passengers who had boarded that Japan flight were rescued. Unfortunate इसलिए because disaster is a disaster. Secondly, now thousands have been evacuated following Indonesia's volcano eruption. Now then, there is a war going on in Russia and Ukraine. We all are aware. There is a rampant war going on in Israel and between Israel and Hamas. The Gaza Strip, Palestinians are dying every day. I'm sure Israelis are dying every day. So, do you feel that somewhere the universal energy is very high, and somewhere it is an era of disasters, an era of change? Uh, the world is gonna turn upside down in the coming years.
Yes, Bhumi, and I would suggest our viewers to go and see on the detailed how the energy of universe works. Bhumi is an expert about it, and she has mentioned in her first show. Yes, Bhumi, I do believe there are a lot of movements going on, and it could, just spiral out of the way if the people are not going to, uh, brush off the fire right now. This fire could spread fast all across the globe. Let's just not say there are two flashpoints. As we mentioned, and we are talking, if the Balochistan atrocities don't stop over a period of time, if there is influx of people from Pakistan side, अगर वो हिंदुस्तान में आने लगते हैं, बॉर्डर पे आपके खड़े हो जाते हैं, आप क्या करेंगे? आप वर्ल्ड के थर्ड लार्जेस्ट आर्मी वहां पे खड़ी रह के देख सकती है. You will have to intervene. China, Taiwan war, they are just staring at each other, eyeball to eyeball. हमारे Israel Hamas war already existing है. If Iraq or Iran decides to get in, you will have Lebanon coming in. You will have the Sam uncle coming in, and Sam uncle has spread himself in a lot of mess already this time. So they might need India to clear this their mess this time. On the contrary, generally they come to the clearing of mess, but this time they might need India to clear the mess they have created. And that's why we are saying that we are heading towards the superpower.
Exactly. So, with this notion, I'd like to end today's live session where we discussed about Jaishankar's important role in shaping India's diplomacy. We discussed about the issue of Balochistan and how women are fighting, voicing their voice against the atrocities they are facing by the government. And thirdly, we we put forward some very important facts about the existence of Ram Mandir and why India should celebrate Diwali on 22nd of January. This is me, Bhumi Nagasiraj, aka Shaista, with Nilesh, signing off. We'll meet you tomorrow, same time, same place, on the same channel. Tab tak ke liye, Jai Hind, Sat Sri Akal.